Hey everyone! Today, we're going to break down one of the most important, but maybe most overlooked things on the entire internet, the simple button. We're going to go from nothing at all to a working, clickable button, and we're going to do it in just a few minutes. Let's get into it.
Really think about it for a second. Every sign up, every add to cart, every like button you've ever clicked, they all had to be built from scratch. And you're about to find out exactly how that's done. It's way easier than you probably think, and it's an incredibly powerful skill to have.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can make a button look cool or do anything, we have to actually create it. We need to build its skeleton, and for that, we just need one single super simple tag in HTML. This is where it all starts.
And this is it, the button tag. This little guy right here is the universal code that tells any web browser, hey, put a thing right here that people can click on. It is the absolute foundation for everything else we're about to do.
Now, check this out. An empty button tag? Well, it's pretty useless, right? It's just a blank box. But the second you put some text inside it, like click me, it suddenly has a purpose. It tells the user what it does. And what's really important is that this text is not just for people who can see the button. Screen readers use this exact text to tell visually impaired users what the button is for. So making that text clear isn't just nice, it's absolutely critical.
So we have a button. It exists, but let's be real, it's kind of boring. Now we get to the fun part. Let's give this thing some personality. We're going to add some style, and we're going to do it right inside the HTML tag itself.
We're going to use what's called the style attribute to apply some inline CSS. Now, don't let the technical terms scare you. All that means is we're adding our design rules, like color and size, directly onto our button. It's a really fast and easy way to see changes happen immediately.
Let's watch this transformation happen step by step. First, font size 25 pixels. We're just making the text bigger, more readable. Next, background color, gray. Let's change the whole button's color. Then, color, light blue to make the text pop. And finally, my favorite, border radius 25 pixels. This is the one that shaves off those sharp corners and gives us that nice, modern, rounded look. Just like that, our button looks a million times better.
All right, our button looks great, but there's a problem. It's all style and no substance. You can click it all day long and nothing happens. It's just a pretty decoration. So let's fix that. It's time to give our button a job. So we're at a fork in the road here, and we have two main options. We can make the button act like a hyperlink, so when you click it, you go to a new page. Or we can make it do something dynamic, right on the page you're already on, using a little bit of JavaScript. Let's take a look at both paths. Okay, path number one. This is probably the most common thing you'll do with a button, making it act just like a link. Perfect for getting around a website or sending someone to a different site entirely.
So how does this work? It's actually really clever. You take your entire button element and you just wrap it inside an A tag. That's the standard HTML tag for a link. Then you just add the href attribute to that A tag to tell it where you want to go, whether it's google.com or another page on your own site. Click the button and poof, you're on your way.
All right, ready for path number two. This is where things get really cool, because we're unlocking a whole new level of interactivity. We're going to use a little JavaScript to make something happen on the page itself without going anywhere. This is a sneak peek at some real web development magic. To make this happen, we just need our little JavaScript toolkit. It's made of three key things. First, you need script tags. That's just a container where our code lives. Second, we need a function, which is just a fancy name for a chunk of code that does one specific job. And third, we add the onClick attribute to our button. That's the part that connects it all, telling the button, hey, when you get clicked, run this function.
So for our example, let's keep it really simple so you can see exactly how this works. We're going to have some text on the page that just says hello. And our goal is, when we click our button, our JavaScript function will reach out and change that text to goodbye. And this is the command that makes it all happen. Now I know document.getElementById.InnerHTML looks like a crazy mouthful, but it's actually pretty simple. It's just a set of instructions. You're telling the browser, in this document, get the element by its ID and then change the inner HTML, the stuff inside it. That's all it is. You find something and you change it.
And just like that, we did it. We went from a totally blank slate to a stylish, fully interactive button. So let's just do a quick recap of the journey we took to get here.
Remember how it all stacked together. We started with the foundation, that basic button tag. Then we dressed it up, gave it some personality with the style attribute. And finally, we gave it a brain. We either made it a simple link with an A tag, or we gave it a specific job to do using JavaScript's onClick attribute. Each layer just builds right on top of the last one.
So there you go. That little button isn't so mysterious anymore, is it? It's the gateway to pretty much all user interaction on the web. Now that you know how it's made, from the bones to the skin to the brain, the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?